Oh, the shame. Hello, my royal lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. I wasn't going to make a video today, but I changed my mind because a story came through late last night about Prince Harry has been spotted at a celebrity tattoo parlour in New York City days after his 40th birthday. What's going on, my loves? My goodness, is he having a midlife crisis or something? He's turned 40 and now he's getting a tattoo. I mean, oh my god. Anyway, let's carry on with this story because I want to give my opinions on it. So Prince Harry was spotted at a celebrity New York City tattoo parlour this... Well, I hope it was clean and sterile, my loves. Hope it wasn't some backstreet affair. The Duke of Sussex dropped into East Side Ink in the city's Lower East Side at around 1 p.m. on Wednesday and spent around an hour inside. Ooh, what good publicity for that tattoo studio. But he only spent an hour inside. Well, do we know what he did inside? I don't think we do. Although one can assume that perhaps if he spent an hour in a tattoo parlour, he didn't just visit for a cup of tea and a biscuit. That would be a little bit random, wouldn't it? So I think we can safely assume, as much as you can assume in the world these days, that perhaps he went in for a tattoo. Or at least to maybe look at a design or something, but then he's not there that long, so I don't think it would be to sort of choose a design and then come back later. I reckon he already knew, as often people do when they get tattoos. They know what they want and they go in and have it done. So if we can assume that he went in and had a tattoo, it wouldn't have been a particularly big one to have been in and out and all finished and done in an hour. So it remains unclear what kind of ink, if any, the royal opted for. Staff at the shop were tight-lipped when questioned about his visit. One of them said, "I couldn't tell you anything about anyone that stopped by without their permission." I'm sure Harry's given his sneaky permission to reveal a few details. It's how they operate. "We would respect anyone's privacy in the exact same way," owner Josh Lord commented. "A tattoo is a deeply personal choice. Anything that happens here is your private moment. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment with you." The royal pulled up in a black SUV flanked by members of his security team and the New York Police Department. Now, I wanted to comment about the NYPD because since he's been in New York City, we have seen them accompanying him as he's been travelling out and about. Now, we know that in the UK, he's not permitted to have this kind of, I suppose, you could class the NYPD if they're following him around as state protection, couldn't you? He wouldn't get that in the UK for personal matters unless, of course, the police decided that there was a risk. I think the NYPD have decided that there was a risk. Now, of course, let's not forget, this is coming out of American taxpayer funds. I would like to know from Americans out there how you feel about your taxpayer dollars. That ka-ching going to protect Harry when he already has his own security team as well. I think this stems from that embarrassing moment. Do you remember the occasion, the taxi chase in New York when Meghan was wearing that horrendous gold CP3O dress? Oh, that was horrific. Honestly, that gold dress. It was the wrong sort of fabric. It was too thick and stiff, and it looked like that you can get it in silver and gold, and it looked like the stuff that you put behind a radiator to reflect the heat back into the room. That's what it looked like. It was horrendous. It really was. Not a good look for that night. And then we had that horrific car chase, didn't we? Well, I say chase with, thinly veiled snark. But it blew up, and I think New York Police Department, or just New York in general, were embarrassed by it. And I don't think they wanted to have that happen again. So I think this is because of that. And how Harry must be absolutely loving it, swanking around exactly the same as he would be if he was a working royal on a foreign visit, having the state protection behind him. Oh, how he must be feeling pleased with himself, and how Meghan must be looking on from her sick bed. Oh, woe is me, Meghan. Woe is me, Megsy baby, from her sick bed. As if we believe that. Oh, my goodness. She's probably in the downward dog, picking some eggs off the floor. I don't know. In her tea house. Has she got a tea house? I heard once that she's got a tea house in Montecito. She must be watching on with sheer delight. This is exactly the sort of image that she wants portrayed around the world. But I think for Americans, you know, who live in America and pay those taxpayer dollars, they must be looking and thinking, we are paying for this. Why are we paying for this? You know, what immigration is he on? We don't know, because, you know, that was all sort of sealed up and not allowed to be put out there. So the security is very, you know, I noticed it, and I think a lot of people are noticing it, and I think a lot of people will be very fed up by it. Why are Americans paying for his protection? Anyway, the shop's owners said the prince stayed at the shop where the session costs up to $350 an hour. What sort of ink are they using? Gold-plated, until just after 2 p.m. The tattoo parlour, apparently, is renowned among celebrity circles with the likes of Avengers stars Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans and Jeremy Renner, all previously getting matching ink there. Well, what did they have matched? I don't know. Eastside Ink opened in 1992 and describes itself as one of the oldest tattoo parlours in New York City. When it opened, the shops catered exclusively to bikers and hardcore body art aficionados. However, today it boasts of tattooing everyone from neighbourhood punks to Oscar-winning celebrities. Oh my goodness. On any given day, you might find your favourite actor or musician getting tattooed right next to neighbourhood regulars, the website states. It's an honour to get to do a lot of these, tattooist Lord said of his A-list clientele, which also includes fake tattoos for TV shows. Ooh, maybe he got a fake one. I don't think so. Anyway, let's sort of scoot down and talk about the tattoos that he might have had. Now, I'm assuming it's one tattoo. I think we can probably safely say that in the time it took to have it done, we're talking one tattoo. We're talking a small tattoo. What do we think he had done? Do we think he had words? I mean, maybe Meghan instructed him to get, if lost, please return to Montecito, tattooed on. Maybe she even had a QR code tattooed onto him. Maybe he was branded. Property of Megsy baby. Maybe he was branded on his backside. I don't know. And where? That begs the question, where has he been tattooed? Is it in a personal, private area? Or is it somewhere that we'll be able to see, like on his forearm or on his shoulder or something on his neck, behind his ear? I don't know. Now, tattoos, I can hear you say, oh, tattoos are very, very, very unroyal. Now, there are some royals in royal history that have had tattoos. George V had tattoos. I think he had a dragon and a tiger tattooed on his arm when he was overseas, along with his royal brother. I think Princess Eugenie revealed a tattoo a couple of years ago that's behind her ear. It's like a circle design that has sort of different meanings behind it. So he wouldn't be the only royal that's gone and got a tattoo. Right, let's talk my own personal thoughts about this. I think he's going through a midlife crisis. I mean, he was going through a pre-midlife crisis, wasn't he? Round about the time of Megxit. But I think now he's 40, things have got a little bit out of control, haven't they? I think it's spiralling. It's definitely spiralling. And I don't know where all of this is going to culminate, because there's got to be an end game, hasn't there? I'm not talking the, is it Marvel movies that have the end game movie? I don't know. It's either DC or Marvel or something. I don't know what it is. But I think that it's heading somewhere. And I don't think we are anywhere near where it's going to culminate in. I've already predicted that this year is about sort of setting Harry and Meghan up from their perspective for success in 2025. But I think it's not going their way. And I think it's setting themselves up for failure in 2025. I think by the end of 2025, they will have been dropped by Netflix. Obviously, their contract is up anyway. I don't think it will be renewed. Certainly not for a term. I think, they might get the odd random project, but I think they are going to be dropped like a sack of hot potatoes. I really do. And, we don't see this Lemonada thing. I don't think anything's going to come of that, really. Brands are not reaching out in their droves to work with Harry and Meghan. We're seeing a separation of Harry and Meghan's sort of work projects. It's all heading to disaster in 2025. Now, I'm going to make another prediction. So this is personal thought and prediction. I think by 2027, 2028, this is when we are going to see a culmination of something, whether it be the separation of Harry and Meghan, or whether it be Harry and Meghan pulling together even closer, and maybe even just, we can hope, completely retire from the world of celebrity. Who knows? They may even come back to the UK and just live quietly. This is wishful thinking, of course, because we all know that Harry and Meghan don't like to do anything quietly. They like everyone to know everything about what they're doing, including the details of Harry being spotted in a tattoo parlour. This detail is not lost on me. I think this was leaked. And it's all part of this current Prince Harry and Meghan plan to make Harry look more human. I've called it before the humanization of Prince Harry. Now, what is it that many, many people around the world are doing today? They're getting tattoos. I personally don't have any, but I know people that do. It's a very personal thing, whether you like them or don't like them or want them or what sort of tattoo you have. I'm probably never going to have one, I don't think. I personally don't like them, really. I don't really think they add to a person. I know lots of people like to express themselves with tattoos. I think to spend money and buy a piece of art or something. Anyway, that's my own personal thoughts on tattoos. You do you. I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me whether Prince Harry gets a tattoo on his left and right bum cheek. Maybe he's got Bob. Maybe he's got a B on the one bum cheek, a B on the other, and then when he bends over, it says Bob. I don't know. That's not my business. I'm not really concerned. I'm not really concerned about that. But I think from Harry's perspective, well, what can I do that, everyone is pretty much doing these days? Oh, I know, I'll get a tattoo. And I think this is all part of his very poorly thought out plot for the humanization of Prince Harry. Maybe if I can be more relatable again, people will like me. People will start demanding that I come back as a working royal part-time, and I can have my cake and I can eat it, just as I plan to do. No, we all know now that Meghan broke the Sandringham agreement, and we think that this was possibly in the early days of Megxit. And senators even came out at the time. I forgot to mention this in my previous video. Senators came out and were like, how on earth did you get our phone number? Why are you calling? She was just brushed aside. It was just ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous, that she even attempted to approach senators. Especially when you hold a foreign title. I know technically the titles don't mean anything in the US, but you can still use them in the US. She can still call herself the Duchess of Sussex. So, this is the humanization of Prince Harry in action. What next? What next is he going to do? And like I said, it's going to culminate somewhere, and I don't know how it's going to culminate. So please let me know in the comment section what you think about this. And also let me know what tattoo you think Harry had. I reckon he's got a Megxi baby tattoo somewhere personal. I do. I reckon on his down below bits, he's had a Megxi baby tattoo. A love heart with Megxi baby on it. Ooh, yes, I reckon it's something to please her. Or maybe it's got Archie and Lilibet's names somewhere. I don't know. And to be perfectly honest, I don't really care. But I just thought it was the continuation of this humanization approach. It's not working. News, Harry, news flash. We can see straight through you. It's very transparent. Very transparent, a bit like your wife. Now, apparently, people are coming out and saying that he visited the tattoo parlour as part of an upcoming project. Now, the thing is, the photographs of him arriving didn't show any film crew. So I'm not quite sure how true this is. Is it a little bit of an attempt at backpedaling, a little bit of trying to cover up? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm sure we'll see at some point. I can't imagine what sort of project he would be involved with that would require him to visit a tattoo parlour specifically for an hour. I mean, that seems a very short amount of time to, set things up, practice, rehearse, maybe do 1 or 2 takes of something. It just seems a little bit odd. So I'm not really buying it at the moment. I think this is a little bit of a cover story, maybe aimed at deflecting, which is Harry and Meghan typical style. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, my lovies, and goodbye.